Good morning, peoples, my peoples of the Positive Vibe crew. I'm just letting you know I'm back at the same place I was yesterday, and guess what? This is it. This is another beautiful spot in Windsor that I won't say gets overlooked, but it's beautiful. It's a nice place to come and just have a walk through. And I'll tell you, when the gardens are in bloom and the flowers have been planted, it's no place like it. So I thought I would walk and talk and just sort of share my morning with you. It's been a good morning. I got up 5 o'clock, got my laundry done because I knew I was planning to come here, especially if the sun was out. Well, the sun is in and out. It's not 100%. It's beautiful. I'm just going to say that. It's a bit on the cool side, but nonetheless, it's beautiful. I'm going to try and stay out of the way of people because there are people here walking. But if you should see somebody random, see, this is what it already the daffodils are coming. And then there's other flowers down there that are coming as well too. But it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous place to be. So I'm going to talk a little bit about I wasn't going to share this, but I'm going to share it because it's all a part of focusing on the positive and not the negative. This is the positive. When you have been blessed with living on Gaia, or you might know it as planet Earth, it is Gaia. This is what you're blessed with. So you tend to overlook the negative things that happen because everybody doesn't think like you. This morning, a package, well, I think it got delivered yesterday, but it wasn't delivered at my door. I believe it was just left outside. And because it was left outside on the other side of the locked door, they just left it by the door. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get anything. Anyway, somebody else that was living there got it, ripped it open, took out what they wanted in it. And after they did that, they taped it back up and put it downstairs by the mailbox. And I know that would happen because they had moving tape on it, movers tape on it. And I know the package that normally gets delivered, that's never how it comes. And the things inside, they left 2 things inside, and I had many things ordered. I could be upset by it. Here, that's a perfect spot to sit, especially if the weather is great. Or warmer, I should say, because the weather is great. It's a beautiful day here. Anyway, which is unusual for me. I didn't get upset by it. I just realized that, yeah. And I looked at it 2 ways. Someone else needed it more than me, or I know this. When you are functioning from a very low vibrating frequency, these are the things you do. Honesty doesn't come into play. What happens is, in their minds, they say, if they want to be foolish enough to leave it here, or they just think very selfishly. And I understand right now that is the time we are living in. But not everybody thinks that way. There are good people out there. There are people that are honest people that always want to do the right thing. And I admire that. I also understand that when people are functioning from a very low vibrating frequency, that these are the actions you're going to get. And so I'm just going to leave that there. Now, to move on with the rest of my day. Because one of the things, if you had a chance to watch the quick video I made yesterday, you realize that good things happen to good people. And yesterday, that was me. Just some random stranger paid me how shall I say it, a random act of kindness that will never go unnoticed or will never be forgotten. So I appreciate that. And again, if you ever get to see any of my videos, I'm just going to say thank you again. Wasn't necessary, but boy, was it ever appreciated. Now, this is called Jackson Park. And for those of you that live in Windsor, you know that. But if you don't live in Windsor, or you don't live in a place where you get to go to places like this, and if you can hear the traffic, that's why. I mean, it's huge. Like that's main artery there called Olette. But you can go deep in the park and experiencing something totally different. And I guess they even have a place for cricket because it appears that there are some people over there playing cricket. I hope it's cricket and not the way we used to play baseball. Because if that's the case, someone's going to get hurt. I'm just playing. So I know my last video last week was about family, my family in particular, and how much we become separated or distant from each other. And for the longest time, I thought it was my goal, or not so much my goal, it was within me that I wanted to repair that or fix that. Until I started doing a little bit of research. And especially, I think it's at this time, I want to give a shout out to my baby sister who has her own channel called Nova Scotia Black Indian. Shout out to you, Hilda. Your video today was emotional, a little bit emotional. And it was good. It was moving. And I want to give a shout out to her because she helped me to appreciate, yes, we are family. And as much as we would love to be close, we're all at different places in our lives in terms of healing, in terms of what we view as family. And it's like she said to me, it's not your job to save them. It's not your job to pull the family together because everybody has to answer the call within them as to whether they want to heal to the point where they want to come back with family. And yeah, so I appreciated that. And I'm always going to be here. I will continue to reach out to family. But in terms of trying to pull us together, everybody's at a different place of healing in their life. And so that's not going to be the case. I'm just going to live my best life. I'm going to let them see from my example that what healing looks like, because that's what's most important, is that each individual in my family heal. And we all heal from a different rate, from a different angle, and whatnot. So that I appreciate. Now, I could turn the camera this way, but that is the school. And there's not much more down that way than this trees. But I'm telling you, if you come here in the summer, you will be awed, I guess is for lack of a better word. It's beautiful. And I can't believe in talking, I have almost walked all around it, the outer perimeter that is, because there is an inner perimeter that I haven't even tackled. And again, like I said, once you're inside the park, you hardly notice the traffic because it is by two major roads in Windsor, the Tecumseh being one that runs east to west, and Olette being the other that runs north to south. So, regarding family, love my family, will always love my family. In regards to trying to change the dynamics of my family, I'll let that happen on its own because I do believe it will happen. But it has to happen as each one gets healed, some healing under their belt. That's when the change will occur. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I just definitely wanted to give a shout out to my sister Hilda because, in terms of the way I view life now, I have to say she's been very instrumental in helping me be on my healing path, to say the least, and being able to come into my own freedom. Just this YouTube channel alone probably would have never happened without her encouragement because I love you, Hill. I really do. And I am sorry for the pain you're going through right now. I'm really not sure what that building is, but I can tell you this. On the other side of the building, and I'll show you, is the washrooms. Ew. 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 That stinks. It's cigarette smoke. Sorry about that. But this is the side the washrooms are on. And they're locked up. In the summertime when they're open, at least the homeless get to come here and wash up and get ready for their day. That even disturbs me. I'm going to go sit down on a bench, someplace where I can prop you up. And yeah, man, that didn't take long at all to walk. But I'm going to go someplace where I can prop you up because I think I just want to talk a little bit about my healing journey because it has been one of a few years in the making, but it's been one of the best decisions I chose to do, for sure, is to let go, to go inward. And I used to hear people say this, go within so you don't go without. And I never really understood what that meant. It sounded good, but I thought, but I didn't know what that meant. But I do now. I do now. And I'm going to put you on pause for a minute because I got to blow my nose. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. And thank you for being patient. That took a minute to situate. I want to turn the camera around, but truthfully, I'm not really wanting to be on camera today. So that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Yeah, I said I wanted to talk about my healing journey, and I sure do. First of all, it goes back to, I don't know. Truthfully, I mean, I had therapy for some things because I realized that, like most in this time we live in, we suffer from depression. But it was to the point where I just did not want to get up out of bed. I did not want to. I would get up, I would go to work, and I worked probably from 9 to 3, and I would come home And I'll tell you, I just would look forward to getting in the bed, and I would probably be in bed around 4 or 5 o'clock. And yeah, and a lot of it was in and out of sleep, in and out of sleep. But I just did not feel like facing the world or doing anything with the world. And then I realized it got bad when some things changed in my life where I was living, and I knew that I could no longer afford to stay there. And it was just like, and I just remember calling out to the universe and saying to the divine and saying, I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And it wasn't that I was ever thinking about taking my life, but I just didn't like where I was at. It just like life was becoming hard. And I'm thinking, why? My God, why? And so finally, it got to that point where I did end up, I finally said, I need to get some help because there was a bunch of things that had happened in my life that I just pushed it down, pretended it didn't happen, and moved on. A breakup being one, being separated from a very, very close member of my family that actually it was my great niece, whom, oh, I was just, anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that because that's the past and that's where it should stay in the past. But anyway, long story short, it drove me to a deep depression that, yeah, so I ended up getting therapy. And I'm not ashamed to say that because we live in a time where, most people, or at least where I come from, or I'm even going to say this, it used to be, and I'm hoping it's not like that anymore, but it used to be, especially where I'm from, that, I'm talking where I'm from is in the Black community, not many of them believed that you needed therapy. You just either shoved it down, pushed it away, and soldiered on. Well, you know what? The brain can only take so much, the body can only take so much. And then, like most things that have a lot of pressure on it, it explodes. And I wasn't happy. I was angry all the time. If I wasn't angry, I was sad. I was in the woe is me, as my sister likes to call it, the victim stage. And yeah, I went through all of that. And I can tell you, that was chaotic and I didn't like it. I needed peace in my life. And so, having said that, I just remember picking up the phone and going through all the motions. And then finally, I had a therapist. And for me, and she was great. I will say this, she was great. But what she was somebody to hold me accountable because everything she told me, I knew I needed to do. But because there was nobody there holding me accountable, I never did it. And it wasn't until I talked to her, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I am not is a liar. I'm a joker for sure, but I'm not a liar. And if I tell myself I'm going to do something, I do it. And so having her there to talk to spill out my whole truths to, and then to listen and her listen, I should say, and then ask me, what did I think the solution was? And God love her because she was good. And I started doing those things because I wouldn't even pick up the phone to my family. And then I had a sister who was living here that if you didn't answer the phone after several times, she'd tap 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 on your door. What's going on? Like, you know, and that would be Shirley, my 11-month older sister. And I thank her for that because yeah, although I never shared anything, really a lot of things with her to the degree that I did with my therapist, I can tell you, just even picking up the phone, something like that, you know, oof, yeah, that was, you know. So in holding myself accountable, if I said I was going to do something, I would do it. And thus, it got me to the point where, at least mentally now, I was in a place where I knew I had to start being honest with myself because I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a yes person. Even though I didn't want to, I would. So I went from being a people pleaser to a yes person to straight in bed from the time I would get home Like I said, within a couple hours to get home in bed. So now I learned to use my voice. And one of the things that came up in therapy was she talked about self-care. And I'd heard that, but I thought that was for people that had money or just could go and do whatever they wanted. And I said, what is that? Self-care. What does that even look like? And one of the things was just saying yes to you. Just saying yes to you, whether it be taking a day to go get a massage or, and I'm thinking, right, like I can afford to do that. That's mostly my problems right now, no money. But self-care to me now is totally different. This is self-care to me. This, this is being able to come to a place like this and hug a tree or just sit and put my feet in the grass and connect with nature. And that was the beginning of my healing. That was the beginning, because now I started going online and starting to see other ways I could self heal. And oddly enough, it led me to right where I am today. It led me to start my, I can't say it any other way than to start my spiritual walk. And it has been a journey. It has helped me learn what the meaning of going within so you don't go without men. And I'll tell you, it's been the best decision I ever made. And I'm going to end it there by saying live, love, and laugh. Because as long as you can do those things, life will be all right. So I'm going to close this video for now, or as they say in many, end of transmission, and enjoy the rest of your day.